It's the Poker News Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 877th episode of the Poker News Podcast. I'm Chad Holloway, joined by Kyna England, who I just saw, and Mike Holtz. You guys are back in Vegas, but Kyna, you were in Milwaukee not that long ago.
Yeah, I just got back yesterday, actually. I had to stay a little longer than I thought, which was a good thing. But yeah, really fun time, really good turnout. Sick turnout, actually. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get to that later. I can elaborate.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk a lot about it. We have a little highlight video, and we both did pretty well. But before that, we got to talk about the big story this week, and that is GTOWizard, Nacho Barbero, ACR, this whole mess where Nacho Barbero, so Nacho is a very famous poker player, Argentina's all-time money winner. He's been around for a very long time, and he's an ACR pro. He put out a post on Instagram that showed him ready to grind the Venom, and in the background you could see GTOWizard, which somebody had pointed out in a tweet. Nacho responded to that tweet saying, look, I'm not using it. I was just helping coach some people, something along those lines. But it ignited a bit of a firestorm, which we're going to dive into. I know, like, kind of you and I were playing in Milwaukee, but Mike, you are a resident online expert.
That's me.
What did you make of this whole situation?
So I think the main takeaway from this in my mind is that ACR is a joke. Like, it's just a shitty website where nobody should feel safe at all. And not because I think Nacho cheated. I personally don't think he cheated whatsoever. I played with Nacho. Nacho's not the kind of guy I would think to do that. And his hands have been run. Patrick Leonard ran every single one of his hands, compared what he played and what his GTOWizard account solved, and nothing was even close. So, yeah, there was no actually cheating going on. But here's the issue, right? This is why ACR is bad. This comes out. Boom. Nacho posts it. It blows up. Everyone's like, oh, God, there's so much stuff. Everyone's worried about playing online. Is there cheating here? Is there cheating there? Yada, yada. ACR should now, I think, come out and say, we are taking this extremely seriously. This is, we take this seriously. We don't think Nacho did anything wrong. But here's the evidence, and here's why. That's not what ACR did. ACR put out a tweet that said, Nacho's just a goofball. He's not cheating. He's good to go. And then they locked the comments.
Yeah, it's a thing too that it's like these offshore sites that you play on that are unregulated offshore sites are leaving it up to your own integrity, basically, whether or not you want to cheat. Like, there's not checks in place. I mean, they come out with the whole botting thing. Oh, we don't have bots. Like, oh, here's one we just put on your site. What about that? And
yeah.
It just is. It's like play at your own risk thing too. The whole thing that came out with Ignition just recently. Did you see all those videos too?
Yeah, with the Chinese bot range.
Yeah, with the bots that were just all the same numbers, all in a row, playing the high rollers, like playing real small. Chip dumping was pretty obvious, but that's what you get when you play on those sites, and that's unfortunate that we don't have. I mean, now obviously there are going to be some better options, right? Like there's some better options out there. I would think.
Regulated or unregulated doesn't matter anymore. But the regulated sites I play on in Nevada, they're bad. They're awful, and no one cares about anything. It's crazy. People are just cheating rampantly, sharing cards, it's obvious, and no one cares. So I don't get it. Hopefully Club WPT Gold, it seems like that's going to come out and be fantastic. Please God, but man, it's scary out here. These online operators have a money printing machine, right? WSOP.com Nevada has a money printing machine. ACR has a money printing machine. Okay, GG has a money printing machine, and they can print money. When you have a money printing machine for so long, you start to go, whatever, dude, I got a money printing machine. Who cares about everything else? And it seems like the operators need to really hone in on the fact that, yes, because I have this money printing machine, I have power. And with power comes great responsibility. So I don't know. I think they need to take it much more seriously. For ACR to come out and say what they said is insanity. For WSOP to have .com Nevada to have absolutely no contact with the outside world as far as Twitter or whatever, never answer players is crazy. I'm hoping that the future of online poker becomes better, but my viewpoint has changed so much in the last 6 months. Like, I really don't. It's crazy. I'm scared.
I mean, I think that says a lot coming from you too, who is, you were an online grinder. That was what you did day in, day out for so long, and still do to a high regard. I haven't played online very much, maybe like once a summer in a bracelet event or something, and it's because of concerns that I have about it. The cheating, as you mentioned, does happen, the collusion. Some sites I think are more reputable. Unfortunately, those sites I don't have access to. And so, yeah, I just don't play on ACR. I don't play on any unregulated site, and I've never encouraged people to do so. It's too high risk, I say. And if you are going to play, if you really need to, then whatever you have on there, just be afraid. Don't be afraid to lose it, because anything can happen at any time. I also want to say, look, I like Nacho a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this is one of those though, where reminded me, man, how do you put that Instagram video out with that there? You can't have that up on your, lots more people probably do use it, but it's like one of those things, you can't say it, right? And it just reminded me, whoopsie daisy. I remember when I was in law school, this was a long time ago, computers weren't quite as good as they are now. So if you were, looking at, let's just say, an adult site on your computer back then, there's a good chance it was going to get hypothetically, right? Well, no, this really happened. I was in law school and I had my laptop out, and there's rows of people behind me, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, those adult entertainment pop-ups just had it. I slammed that shut so fast, but I'm sure somebody saw, and I was so embarrassed, and I have to imagine that Nacho was embarrassed by putting that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the same situation.
I think they're actually identical. Yeah.
Yeah, Nacho with the Pornhub, and you with you with Pornhub and Nacho with that. Yeah, no, I think Nacho just literally, I think he was completely innocent, and I think that's why he posted, because he was just like, my name is Nacho. Oops, he's the best.
Yeah, he's funny guy.
If he was cheating, I'd be completely shocked. But Patrick Leonard ran a bunch of his hands, saw the ones that he played, and he made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah,
that if he was cheating, he would never have done.
Pats came to the conclusion that he was not cheating because he played about 40% of the hands incorrectly or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty obvious that he wasn't cheating, but it's unfortunate because here's how the economy of an online poker site works, right? You're going to have your regulars who keep the site running all the time, and you're going to have your recreationals who are a pool of players who play for fun, who are just going to be playing, here and there, sometimes for long stretches, sometimes they might take a year off, whatever. The people who see that, if I saw that and I'm not a professional, the first thing I think is everyone's cheating.
Everyone's cheating.
So everything that continues to happen erodes the confidence of online poker. And this is a crossroads. We have a chance, and I've said this multiple times, we are at such a pivotal point where we are going to kill online poker if we continue to let this occur. So somebody needs to take a stand. I pray to God it is Club WPT Gold, and it looks so promising so far. But yeah, there just should be some way to have an operator that cares about the players and cares about the security concerns. And yeah, I don't know. Is this a simulation? What's happening?
It was another, as you already mentioned, that goofball tweet from ACR. We've bashed the PR at ACR many times over the years on the show and just in the poker community, and I would love to know who put that out there and who thought that would be a good idea. To their credit,
I think it's Nagy. I think it's literally just Nagy.
He does it himself. Yeah,
that's the tone I get. He's like, he's just a goofball. He's good to go, guys. I got this. They'll love this. I'll tweet this.
Well, to their credit, they did come back a couple days later with a more serious tone, kind of saying, all right, that was not the right tweet. We are taking this serious. And they came to the conclusion, like you said, that he wasn't cheating. And then Patrick Leonard, of course, did his own investigation. He released a 9-minute video where he highlighted a lot of the hands that you guys just mentioned. I watched it all. I highly encourage you all to watch it as well. I will link to it in our show notes or embed it into the article. But it's well worth it. And yeah, from what you're saying, Mike, and from what Patrick Leonard said, about the state of online poker right now, it's a scary thing. Those aren't my streets. I work in this industry, so I certainly care. But to think back of what online poker was, back in 2005, 2006, 20 years ago to what it is now, yeah, something's got to be done. And I certainly don't know what or have the answers, but I know guys like you and Patrick Leonard, are probably the ones that do and can help maybe usher in change or at least advise what sort of changes need to happen.
Yeah, I've consulted with multiple poker companies before and helped them in certain situations, and like the stuff that's going on right now is so bananas. But it's not like I could do this specially. This isn't like a crazy hard thing. It's just get better security. Give your players more rake back. Don't let your pros log into RTA software and then answer like everything's a joke. It's like just have good PR, speak to your players, find out what they want, make sure they feel safe. If they feel safe, they'll play, and you'll have a loyal site with a bunch of people that play regularly, and tournaments can flourish. Everyone can feel safe. But if everyone doesn't feel safe, and we all say, the wolf lives in that cave, and you go, does he really live in that cave? And we're all like, dude, the fucking wolf's in that goddamn cave. Someone get him. And you're like, guys, we're tripping. There's no cave.
It'll be fine. He won't eat the children or anything.
Yeah, and the children are being eaten on a regular basis. The children are missing limbs. And we're like, that's what's happening. I mean, it is insane. Oh God, it just boils my blood that these people are in charge of what is effectively thousands of people income. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And then, yeah, certain sites are worse than others in certain areas. But man, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, in lieu of all this, Nacho Barbero did, apologize for the situation and withdrew from the Venom, the tournament that this was taking place during, and is going to move forward. I think it's a good learning opportunity for the industry as a whole, for ACR specifically, and we'll have to see. You read poker news on any day, at least once or twice a week. There seems to be some sort of story about, something bad online. Brian Hastings just did, spoke out against Ignition, where he thought there was rampant collusion. So
sure, which there obviously was. Yeah, it's upsetting.
Yeah. Well, play at your own risk if it's an unregulated site. That is all I'll say. I do want to say one site that I do like to play on because it's free is the sponsor of this show, and that is the WSOP free-to-play app. Now, I often talk about going on there every day because I like to do the daily blitz, and I've mentioned video poker, and they actually sent me, because I'm like, I can talk about it, but I want to show these people sometime. They sent me a little video that I can share. Check it out.
Welcome to Video Poker Wild Edition, your new favorite minigame. It's deal, hold, draw to hit those crazy hands and stack up those sweet free chips. Get extra lucky with surprise wildcards in your corner, transforming into the best WSOP video poker. Deal, draw, win.
All right. Let's talk MSPT. It returned to Potawatomi Casino in Milwaukee for the first time since before the pandemic. We went there, and it was a lot of fun. We both did well, right? We both played on Thursday, and we both bagged on one bullet.
One bullet. That was fun, too. And the end of the night when we were on I think it was right before the bubble, we were at the same table, and then our table broke. So that was fun.
Yeah, and you bagged a lot more chips than I did. I think I bagged an average stack, but you had like twice average, and you had more than that at one point.
Yeah, they gave me way too many chips, and I was like, this is just too many. I feel like I'm uncomfortable with this amount of chips, so I went ahead and lost $1 million before we bagged. But no, it was a really fun tournament. So yeah, haven't been back there since 2020 playing tournaments. They got an insane turnout. I think it's also a great stop because unlike some of the other MSPT stops, they have nightly tournaments too and dailies that go throughout the whole day. On Sunday, there were 3-4 tournaments to play. There was a seniors event. Every night there was. On Friday, I played the nightly, which was really fun. And funny story with that one. I played the nightly. I still had 2 days off. Got a little intoxicated. It's not like me or anything, but it happened. And then we were in the money, and there were something like 30, 25 people left, and it was saying chop value. And I was like, I'm going to facilitate a 30-way chop right now. And I was trying my best because I was like, guys, the chop value is fourth place money. None of you are going to make that much money. And I was going at it real hard. And then one guy's like, no, I'm not going to chop. Stop asking. And I'm like, okay. But it was still really funny. I thought, what a story to have on the Poker News Podcast. Kyna facilitates 35 or 30-way chop in nightly tournament. But
so wait. I just want to make sure I got this right. You were walking around drunk trying to get a 30-way chop?
Yeah.
Sure, everyone was thrilled.
No, a bunch of people were like, yeah, because, like it's a nightly at that point, everyone's short. Everyone's like, yeah, let's all take $1,500,
Sure,
but,
yeah.
part of me was serious because I was drunk and I wanted to go home and go to sleep. But like, also I was kind of like kidding, making a joke because we always talk about chops and stuff on the vlog. But that was fun. I did make the final table. I got 9th on that one. And then, like I said, it was just a great
You were
turnout.
right. You weren't going to get 4th place money.
I wasn't going to get 4th.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
I did not get 4th place money. But yeah, and then the turnout, what did we get? Like 1,700 entries on an 1,100?
It's really good.
1,697, which, look, I'm tied into the poker community in Wisconsin and the MSPT as well. I think their expectation was probably like 800 or 900 players for this return, and to get that many was quite incredible. And, all the side events were booming as well. I took some videos and pictures of our journey, which, I wasn't there Friday because we both bagged and I went back home and you stayed in Milwaukee. But I got some videos of us on Thursday. And then when we returned on Sunday, and I had one of our editors, Adam Piken, put together a real quick highlight video. Check it out. You're the chip leader right now.
I actually told Angela when she was last week at the chip leader, I was like, I've never been the chip leader. I don't think I've ever bagged the chip leader. Who bags on one bullet?
We do. Mike Holtz wouldn't bag on one bullet.
One bullet
but
bag.
we did.
Let's
on
go.
to day 2. It's Sunday, right before day 2. Huge turnout here at the MSPT Potawatomi in Milwaukee. 1,697 runners, 185 in the money already coming back for day 2. I'm sitting with an average stack. Kyna has about double average, but I don't know where she is. She's still got time. She's got like 15 minutes. I don't know. Hope she's not hungover.
They wrote 1.6.
What's happened? Did they short you your chips?
No, they gave me too many, and I'm telling them they gave me too many.
That's very kind of you. All right, well, unfortunately, things didn't go my way. Pretty card dead, jammed from the small blind. Last 12 bigs, pocket jacks, big blind called with ace 10, hit a 10 on the flop, ace on the turn. So I'm out 115th place for like $2,500. But look who's still in. Look at this.
Are you out?
I'm out. I'm just telling the people for the podcast,
I'm gonna win.
Good luck.
Here we go.
All right, there you had it. We had a lot of fun. My run came to an end in 115th place. Made a little profit because I was only in for one bullet. But kind of your run went a lot deeper. I got home. I was sweating the live updates. I know Mike was in Vegas there. Was it fun to have a deep run?
Yeah, I got so I finished 16th. And you're always bummed. Like I'm fine now. Like it was a good run. Like top 1% is what you kind of hope for. But you get so close, you're always like, man, if I just could have made it a little farther, made the final table picture. But it was a great time. They changed my table so many times. I feel like I got to play with all the people. And the guy that won, when I was at his table, sorry, man, I was beating up on him a little bit, like jamming on him and 3-betting him a lot. And then our table broke. And then all of a sudden he won the whole thing. So good for him for putting up with me, and nice run. He was a super nice guy, seemed to know a lot of people too. And I think he was new to poker too. I think he something, maybe look at his Hen and Mob. I think it was he had won one already, but that was like his first cash or something. And then he won again. I can't remember. Yeah. Kind of a crazy story.
Tim Thorp is his name. He won the Ameristar East Chicago MSPT in November, just a few months ago for $108,000, and then comes up to Milwaukee and wins his second MSPT title, $244,000 after a 3-way deal, which included Umut Ozturk, who technically finished in second place for $160,000. So we've mentioned him on the podcast before because he just won MSPT Player of the Year last year. Mm-hmm. He had won it the year before. So he went back to back. He made MSPT Hall of Fame recently last year, and now he's atop the Player of the Year standings again. Granted, it's early, but he made back-to-back final tables because he made the final table at Bally's last weekend and then here at the MSPT Potawatomi. So Umut Ozturk just killing it. I saw him there. I got to chat with him, and
he's very nice too. All those a lot of those MSPT guys are super nice.
Yeah, if you haven't played it, it's definitely worth checking out. Not only just from a fun standpoint, the players are nice, but like no offense to some of them, they're not the same quality you're going to find in Vegas. Let's put it that way. Vegas is a lot tougher to grind the tournament scene. So, and then there were side events we mentioned, Kyna, and your friend and one of the friends of the show and somebody everybody loves in the poker world took down one of those side events.
Yeah, so Angela Jordison had hung out because she was sweating me, and so she played some of the side events. I think a funny story, not to call her out, but she goes and buys into the last chance tournament, and she's like, this is going to be the 4th tournament I played today, because like she just like busted the main, then she bought into the seniors, then she bought into like the midday one, and then she bought into the nightly, and ended up like I was waiting for her, and then I was sweating her final table, and she won the whole thing, I think, for like 11.7 and a trophy. So good job, Angela.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes it pays to sweat your friends.
That was a fun winner's pick that you got to get in there. So congratulations to her. The MSPT is going to return to Potawatomi September 30th through October 5th for the Wisconsin State Poker Championship. The next MSPT is actually going to be this weekend. As you're watching this or listening to this, it's probably happening right now. They do the Poker Bowl every year during the Super Bowl at the Venetian in Las Vegas. This was something that I actually helped ushered in when I worked for the MSPT. We were talking about old poker events, and you might know this or might not, but Amarillo Slim's Super Bowl of Poker was one of the bigger ones back in the day. And we thought, how can we bring something like that back? Obviously, you can't use Super Bowl anymore without the NFL coming down on you. So Poker Bowl it was, and it's been an annual tradition ever since. So, and
I think this year they're introducing their new studio during it, right? Like they're going to do some final table streaming. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I believe they're going to be using it during this event. So, you going to go play that, Mike?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
I'm trying to commentate. I don't know what's good, but Joey Ingram was talking about commentators. You tagged me, and look like I got some pretty positive feedback. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would like.
You can commentate while I final table.
That's fair.
Okay.
I can quote you because that is the plan, is for them to stream there. And actually, today, as this episode comes out, my colleague at Poker News, Connor Richards, is going down to the Venetian for an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of the studio a few days before it actually debuts. And so in next week's episode, we'll have like a highlights clip featuring Connor with a tour of the studio. You'll get to see it from that perspective. And then, of course, you'll be able to watch final tables and cash game action on the Venetian news stream coming. And if we can get you guys in there commentating, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice place to play, the new room.
Yeah,
I
like it.
Very nice.
Very comfortable.
I've had great results at the Venetian, and MSPT always comes there. I love the Venetian. I love the win. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty sick, and being able to see being able to watch local tournaments in Vegas that are not Poker Goes. So Poker Goes are 5Ks, 10Ks, etc., 25s plus. These are gonna be 1100s, 800s, 1600s. So you're gonna get to see more of the average everyday grinder, which I find pretty cool, and you get to see how different people play. So yeah, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I like that too. Mixing it up, you don't get to watch a whole lot of stream tournaments anymore, and I think that's a great place to start. You get a good field, good diverse field, different caliber of players. Be fun.
Yeah, and it's nice because everyone's trying to, and it's not every single person's just a GTO solver. They're all trying to find the exact frequencies. It's some people, might be playing, a lot of people are going to be playing differently. It's going to be cool. You're going to get to see a lot of faces in Vegas, and I hope to make some final tables there myself.
Well, speaking of streams, there was a good one at the Lodge down in Austin, Texas. This is the poker room run by Doug Polk and company. And there was I think it was a 50, 100, 200 no limit hold'em cash game. And a big hand happened involving Polk and Mariano. And I just thought it was kind of fun. It's been a while since we shared a hand here on the Poker News podcast. So this was one of those hands he's really calling with that, huh? Check it out.
Thursday's show. You know who's in Thursday's lineup, Rick?
In a particular
Doug
moment.
looks down at
Thank you for
ace
the
gun
meta
up on
analysis.
Thursday.
It's about, your overall play.
Let's
your
watch this
overall
hand first. A
skill,
little 3-bet from Doug,
Not
2K.
short-term variance.
All in rip from Josh, who's going to get snapped when it gets back around to Doug.
I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't see Mariano getting out of line in the face of a 3-bet and a 4-bet
Sometimes you
jam.
can lose for a month. Or I heard some guy,
Yeah.
Galfond or something like that. He's I was like losing for like half a year nonstop, even though I was playing well.
It's a game of variance, buddy.
Mariano
you
still
go.
deciding with
Beat the
So
casino.
just because Doug
the
is stuck in the
10-7
wow.
suited,
Not only deciding,
you know,
Doug's
He makes
still with
the
his
call.
nit
He's not the
button,
best in
the
the world.
act.
okay.
Terrace, I think you're the best in the world, dude.
Doug likely to re-raise to try and isolate Josh and just take this up heads up.
I wish that were true. I really do.
Jam seems appropriate. Out of position against a very capable opponent in Mariano. Still with your nit button. He rips it.
and Mariano quickly asks for a count. Doug has about 56,000.
55.
We about to gamble for $50,000 with 10-7 suited?
55.5. One quarter off 56. So 55,975.
So how much?
56.
I mean, he's a drummer. He's got bad hearing, you know?
All right, can you pull in that amount from everyone?
All right, he wants to pull everything in. Does he want to play for a big one with 10-7 suited?
I mean, he's got decent equity, but he doesn't know that. He could just be a humongous underdog.
92.
No, she's probably right.
92.
I think she's right.
Hodge live stream, high stakes, Mariano versus Doug Polk.
If he makes this call, he does. He makes the call.
Let's play.
Oh my God!
The biggest putt of the day, 121.3.
What do you have?
10-7.
Let's fucking go.
Suited. Look at that grin.
Fucking go.
I think 10-7.
Come on, Anastasia. This is for you.
I wanted to root for Josh, but I don't.
10-7.
Are we going once or twice?
Yeah.
Go on, come on.
Yeah, come on.
At least go pocket 10.
Huh? One time.
How's that?
One time. One time.
Actually, whatever they want, it's fine.
This is why I'm here. I
Once
love
a sign
to
pocket.
Diamond.
There's one diamond, two diamonds.
The best flop in the world for Mariano.
Trips for Josh, but who cares? The side pot's big.
Open-ended straight flush draw, Rick.
Yeah!
There's the straight.
Oh, I'm dead. All right.
Let's go! Woo!
Josh has outs for the boat, but he doesn't get it. Mariano scoops 121.3.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mariano
Okay.
gambling with 10-7 suited.
We're getting handshakes from Terrace for the gamble.
Let's fucking go.
All right, I'm in for.
How did you know to call the
55.
How do you know
Anastasia's last hand.
Oh, sorry.
The solver.
Yeah, so
Let's look at the celebration for Mariano. He's going to do the standard handshake to his.
Looking at the back of Josh's head, Rick.
There's the handshake.
There's the handshake.
Terrace says, "Well done."
This is how I.
All right, there you have it, Mariano. 10-7 of diamonds. I mean, he must have liked it. He got there in a huge pot. Slick Rick and Skull Mike were on the commentary there. You know, couldn't seem to believe it. But Mike, you just think it's a slot machine spin, right?
No, I thought it was very well played by Mariano. I thought that he did the solver approved approach, which is to get the money in there, randomized, obviously, repeating, of course. Yeah, he got the money in, and he's going to flop the open and straight flush draw and get sexual with them on the turn. So that's the end of that. And yeah, he deserved it. He won the hand. Good for him. Greatest player alive, obviously. Well done. Great hand.
$121,300 in that pot. You can check out more of the Lodge Card Club streams. There's some on YouTube, and you can see more fun hands like that one. All right, let us tell an update from, I think it was 2 weeks ago. We did a story on Leon Tsoukernik, who was in a coma at the time from an overdose of propofol. And the good news is he is better, quote, absolutely fine after being, in a 40-hour coma, just 2 weeks removed. So good news there. I think, remember when we talked about that, it didn't look good at the time.
No, that was like sad and scary.
I'm so stoked that he was able to pull through and be fine. I did not expect that. The way that normally when something like that happens and the way it was announced and the way people were talking about it, it felt like something bad was going to occur. So to hear he turned it around that's awesome. Especially here, he feels absolutely fine. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Leon Tsoukernik was the King's Casino. He sold his shares there, but helped bring the WSOP Europe to King's Casino, where it's been for, a decade now. It's one of the actual few places I've never been. I doubt I'll ever get there. No offense. I've not heard good things in terms of it's in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing else to do. So, but still, you can't deny that it's had a big impact in the European poker circles, and Leon Tsoukernik, one of the power movers in that side of the pond. So we're very happy that he is better. All right, I want to give a quick shout out to my colleague, Connor Richards, who, of course, hosts the Life Outside Poker podcast. And he got a big guest, guys. He went over to Phil Galfond's house in Las Vegas, and he got to talk to Phil. I know you guys haven't seen this yet, but I'm guessing you're probably going to watch it.
Yeah,
of course.
Check it out.
So it's funny.
Philly G and fucking Connor Richards. You serious? How could a man missing that would be a mistake?
That's true. And I've got a little teaser here, just a little clip of what you can expect from the show. Check it out.
The Galfond Challenge was about me testing myself in the post-solver era and seeing if I still could hack it. And so obviously, I did study and I came into the match with some confidence, but of course, when you lose 45 buy-ins straight in the first match you play since all those years off, you start to go back to those stories. Okay, maybe in this post-solver era, it's not my game anymore. And so that was, it was depressing. It was, in part it was hard because it was on a very public stage. It was my comeback. But really it was more internally believing. Well, it was about my internal belief about whether or not I was good enough at poker anymore in the post-solver era, and I was certainly questioning it again and again during that match. And so there was a point where I took a break. I was going to decide if I was going to continue, and at that point, I played on in some other games. I played on Stars, Heads Up Zoom, and I was playing against a lot of different opponents who were also good, and I was doing well. It was variance in both spots, but I was doing well, and I felt like I understood. I felt like I was getting it. And so I was like, and I want to continue, and I just want to prove to myself that I can hang and win against this guy. I didn't ever imagine coming all the way back. I just wanted to, I was down 900,000. I wanted to win 200,000 back, which, if we played, I don't know how many hands were left, 13,000 hands, and I won over 13,000 hands. Even if I lost overall in the match, that would show me that I could hang. And then, of course, you couldn't have written it better the way that the comeback happened. Just as poorly as I ran at the beginning, I ran that hot at the end. And it was just like the perfect fairy tale graph.
So there you have it, Phil Galfond, the latest guest on Life Outside Poker with Connor Richards. You can check out that episode now on PokerNews.com or on YouTube. One of his best, I must say. And a real quick reminder to anybody listening or watching, we are doing this Las Vegas book giveaway. This book valued at $500. I got to tell you, I was pretty impressed with how many people have entered already.
Oh, good.
In terms of, I've only shared it on the show. I haven't.
You remember how complicated the instructions were too? You remember that?
Yeah, post book under the Poker News thing. You had to. That's the only one I remember.
Good job, guys, for being able to get through that.
Well, I'll tell you, I gotta reiterate the steps here. So it's pretty simple. It's not as hard, but you got to subscribe to Poker News and the Las Vegas book on YouTube, 2 YouTube channels. And then there is a video, the trailer for the Las Vegas book on their channel. Leave the word Poker News under there in the comments, and then go to our video on the Las Vegas book on Poker News' YouTube and write book.
Book as well,
yeah. And you do all that. I'm going to go through, compile, and then we will randomly select somebody at the end of February. So you still got plenty of time. A book valued at $500, very high end. And I haven't even started sharing this on social media or anything like that. So that's why I was really impressed with those who took the initiative. We do some good giveaways, and we have a good audience who deserves some good prizes. So get in on that one. And then we're just a couple weeks away from the Global Poker Awards. I'm going to come out there to Vegas, hang with you guys. We're going to record in studio after the awards. Hopefully we'll win Podcast of the Year. I don't know. We're up against some stiff competition, but I think it's going to be a fun night. Are you guys excited?
Yeah. I got to go That's my next step. Work on get award outfit.
Oh yeah, no, my body paint hasn't all come in yet, but most of the colors are in, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of paint.
You do a trial run first. You gonna see what dress rehearsal is?
No, I've got a pretty good idea of I've got this.
We can simplify it. We can just go back to our first episode and just all wear Spraggy hoodies.
Yeah, show up in the Spraggy hoodie. That'd be fun.
Oh God, I love Spraggy, but I don't know, man.
Well, now I think we're supposed to dress up and stuff.
Yeah, I got shit last year because I showed up in my standard PokerNews button black button up, which is fine, but I had blue jeans on, and I learned blue jeans was not that was not good there. I wasn't the only one though, so but yeah, I'm gonna dress
attire,
up.
Yeah.
Let's just say I've got an appointment at Men's Warehouse, so I'm gonna dress up.
Oh, okay, that he's getting nice. All right.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for this episode. We will be back next week to talk more big stories. And like I said, we will have a behind the scenes look at the new Venetian studio. Until then, we'll keep a seat open for you.
I guarantee it.